Right. This meeting will now come to order. Would anyone like to utilize open forum at this time? Right. We'll now go. Oh, yeah. You can go to the podium or to the mic back there.
Shariko at large. I just want to say Farmhouse Fraternity is partnering with a philanthropy called Be the Match. It's a nonprofit organization that goes around and does testing for to find matches of potential blood and bone marrow transplant donors. And we have this kid that's partnered with us. His name's Carter. And a little backstory of him. He was diagnosed with leukemia. And after battling with it, he got a life-saving bone marrow transplant through Be the Match. And right now, they're doing swabbing this week from 10 to 3 in the Student Center and on the concourse, and then all day at Farmhouse on Thursday. So go get swabbed. I got swabbed today. It took 5 minutes, and you could be a potential match and save somebody's life. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Case. Would anyone else like to utilize open forum? We'll now move into the approval of the minutes. Minutes were sent out electronically this morning. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes will now be approved and corrected. Now we'll move into reports from our officers, beginning with the president.
Hey, all, just a few things. First, I wanted to ask for any feedback for improvement regarding athletics. If there's anything that y'all saw in the past year that you would like to see improved as we're going through making our exec goals. Nothing. Everything's great. Awesome. With that, we are finalizing our exec goals. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yep. Anything else? Perfect. With that, we are finishing our exec goals. So we'll have those to present hopefully by the next Senate meeting, but we'll let y'all know for sure. We had a meeting with OIT last week. A few things to note from that they wanted us to push forward was if you're getting DO alerts that you did not initiate, to make sure that you're not authenticating those. So if you're getting phone calls or the app, to make sure that you're not authenticating those. They wanted to make sure that y'all knew that they were there to protect you. So there might be more opportunities for you to use Duo, like whenever you log onto the Wi-Fi or different platforms across campus. And then there's a lady named Paula that works within OIT. She'll be your first point of contact for this entire year. So if you're working with anything under OIT. And then another point of feedback that they asked for is there anywhere on campus that you wish there was a printer and there's not one? Kara? Perfect. Anybody else? Perfect. Thank y'all. The upcoming Board of Trustees meeting is in 2 weeks, so there'll be a lot of stuff coming with that. And then another thing that was asked was for us to push Impact is currently accepting applications to be a project coordinator. You can get up to 100 service hours and match with different organizations in the area to serve. So if you have any questions for that, I can forward you the email. But thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great meeting.
Thanks, John David. Next, we'll go into our report from the treasurer.
Hey guys, so not much for me. I wanted to let you know that we've built out the rest of our cabinet under the finance branch. However, Auburn Rings is under finance. So we have 4 spots open to build out the rest of the director of Auburn Rings and the Auburn Rings team. So I want to encourage you guys to talk to your peers about it. And if you know anybody that may be interested, tell them to apply. And applications close Thursday at 4:45 p.m. So thank you.
Hey y'all, kind of what Ashton just said. We finished filling out our cabinet last night with the exception of the director of Auburn Rings. There's 4 positions open, the director of information and technology and the director of parking and transportation. So we made an Instagram post today if y'all could help in reposting that and spreading the word to y'all's friends and maybe some people in other organizations and encourage them to apply.
Thanks, Jill. Next, our report for the Executive Vice President of Outreach.
Hey everyone, I hope you're having a good Monday. A few things from me. JD and I attended city breakfast last week. A few things that we talked about were about crosswalks and lights, and then also scooters on downtown sidewalks. So it is, we're not allowed to have scooters on downtown sidewalks. So just make sure if anyone is like talking about that or you see one, just make sure to like pass that information along if you do happen to hear anything about it. And then on to the next. Auburn Answers. Continue to submit Auburn Answers and encourage students if they come to your office hours and if they have a question that you can't necessarily answer, make sure to direct them to Auburn Answers so we can get them the feedback and then also just or who the next point of contact would be for. And then the annual State of Inclusion and Diversity is April 20th from 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. If anyone is available, I would definitely encourage going to that. Again, that's April 20th. And then I want to reiterate a little bit more about benchmarking that Juju hit on last week, what that can look like from your shoes. So what does benchmarking look like in SGA? We evaluate ourselves with our peer and aspirant institutions. These are typically very lengthy and in-depth reports. So we will use these for large initiatives or for when we're advocating for a large change on campus or within the student body. We recently just selected and appointed our new AVP of Feedback and Assessment, Katie Romsbacher. And so her and I are over that. And then we just got directors. So definitely be patient if you are submitting a benchmarking request because we are currently training these directors to do these benchmarking requests. So the different types of research are surveys, benchmarking reports, and Auburn Answer polls. So specifically, benchmarking are reports that gather information on how our peer and aspirant institutions approach these issues. So what we can do with from a Senate standpoint is consider the institutions you want to look at, decide what you want to know, and ask yourself the same questions as you're researching each institution. Make sure you're looking through their website, social media, and anything, etc. And then make that benchmarking request. So where you can find that form is you sign in through your own AU Involve, and you scroll down to the SGA page, and you find forms. It should be labeled as SGA Research and Benchmarking Request Form. If you can, please fill this out at least 3 weeks before you need results, and then hopefully we'll get back with you within 3 to 4 weeks. But if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or Katie Romsbacher. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Maddie. Now a report from initiatives.
Hey guys, just real quick, I'm going to harp on what was previously said about just trying to promote people to apply for the directors of information technology and parking and transportation under the initiatives branch. Those are our 2 vacancies that we have right now. I have a meeting this Thursday with the Student Center Committee of Administrators. Does anybody have any sort of feedback regarding the Student Center that they want to present right now that I can bring to them? I'm going to go ahead and show you all the new dining plan that's being implemented this upcoming fall. Okay, so as you can see, it's split up into an orange plan, a blue plan, and a white plan. The orange plan is automatically assigned to first-time, first-year Auburn students. So basically freshmen who have never gone to class at a university before. And that is it's 5 meal swipes per week plus 450 dining dollars, and there's also several upgrade options available. And then the blue plan, it's automatically assigned to uh, anyone who's not a first year freshman who lives on campus still. So that's going to be 50 meal swipes per semester and 425 dining dollars with some upgrade options as well. You can also upgrade to the orange plan, I believe, if you want to. And then there's the white plan, which is for sophomores and above that live off campus, and that is 425 dining dollars per semester. So we think this is, yeah, in partnership with dining administrators. We think this plan is really going to benefit freshmen. They've been doing a lot of research on the correlation between time spent on campus and academic success. And so we think by upping the meal availability and automatically assigning more meal swipes, 1 meal swipe per day, and then $400 on top of that per semester is going to really retain these freshmen to stay on campus for longer amounts of time, and which they found will only lead to more academic success. So that's why they're kind of implementing this change this year. So looking forward to see how that turns out. Other than that, we got safety walk coming up April 17th at 7 p.m. We sent out invitations to 20 administrators this week. So really looking forward to that. AVP of University Ops is doing a great job with that, Ryan Kerper. So it's going to be really great. Some dining news that I'd like to let y'all know about. Costa Coffee is coming to engineering. I think maybe Brown Copel. Not sure exactly which building. But other than that, John David emailed the director of the library to ask if we could put one in there, and they're very receptive about it. The building manager is exploring the option and will keep us posted. And we're also advocating for more personal study spaces to be added in there, which they're very receptive to as well. So looking forward to see how that turns out. Other than that, we're just working on exec goals for right now, polishing them up, and we'll present them to y'all later on. Thanks.
Riles, agriculture. Not a lot from me. Just want to thank everybody who came out to Ag Week a couple weeks ago. It was our best one in recent memory. I had a lot of seniors coming up to me saying we did a great job. Biggest thing from office hours last 2 weeks has been working on getting an SI style, I guess, help for some of our weed out classes that normally, like by themselves, wouldn't be very difficult when they're paired with some of the STEM classes they have to take. The OChems, they can become overwhelming. So we're working on that just for the College of Ag classes. And I'm also looking into more interior and exterior seating to keep our students around Ag Hill and I guess on campus. That's it.
Coach Sam?
Marino, COSAM. Not much from us. We did use our office hours to meet up with our student council representatives
legislative body this week. Well, last week, I'm so sorry. And that was really engaging. Also, coming up within the college, we have a day called Signing Day. So basically, every person who got an internship or a co-op opportunity over the time in the last 4 to 6 months all comes out with their corporate sponsors and take photos like a signing day that they do professionally, but they do that for their cooperative experience. That's going to be very good as well for that day.
College of Forestry, Wildlife, and Environment. Grad school.
At the Boali Grad School. Um, this last week Wednesday, we had our graduate student council executive election. So we just have a new executive council, and in which they will resume office by May. And also again, um, based on the past 2 office hour, we have a particular issue that we are trying to see what we can do to it. And this is based on temporary housing for new graduate students. Because most usually in grad school, there's no like a school housing, like a school hostel. So most grad school get their hostel outside the school. But it's a little bit difficult for new grad student that is coming because most grad students are majority are international students. So then it's very difficult to sign a house leasing outside the US. So the first week coming to the US is very, very tedious, like nowhere to stay and all those stuff like that. So well, presently we have tried to reach out to the grad school to see what we can do to it, if they can be a temporary or not, or what have they been doing it, how have they been solving issues like that before. So we are still on it. So that's for me. Thank you.
College of Human Sciences. Liberal Arts.
Jan CLA. Our student council has filled out its cabinet this past week, and with that we have a new position created by our president who's going to work directly with us, our senators, and her name is Eloise Thinker. So if you see her around Senate, she's going to be working with us, getting feedback for what issues CLA is facing in Senate. And we've also filled out our new student recruiter for CLA. And that's it. Thanks, y'all.
College of Nursing. College of Pharmacy.
Deidre Pharmacy. So, just a few things going on at the Harrison College of Pharmacy. We're in the process of electing a new dean. There are 4 candidates right now, and all are in the process of being interviewed from now until mid-April. Their resumes and CVs have been posted on Auburn's Office of the Provost website. And also something super cool that the Harrison College of Pharmacy is doing, they're including students in the process. So the pharmacy students can sit in on the candidate interviews and kind of give feedback and ask questions. And then also, we had our installations for the Harrison College of Pharmacy's Executive Student Council, and all of us were sworn in on both of our Auburn and Mobile campuses. So we're excited to work together. Thank y'all.
That concludes our college reports. Now we'll move into committee reports, starting with academic affairs.
Rudolph Engineering had a great meeting today with the academic affairs team. We also met with our cabinet counterpart. So that was a very informative process. Talked about syllabuses on registration, resource groups for traveling and interning students across the country, possibly looking at what Grammarly and or Authenticate and or other things like Quizlet Pro or Plus would look like for students across campus. Looking into exploring elective courses for possibly changing majors. So right now, if you want to go about changing your major, you don't really have a process to go through in regards to gaining information. But fun thing is, and I find this really interesting, is if you're within the exploratory major, there's a class that you take to explore different types of majors, and that should be open to everybody, and or it should be marketed better. So looking into that as well. Looking at in the Mary E. Martin Hall Career Discovery and Success Department and what all that has to offer, and business student services as well. And then NCAP prep courses and LSAT prep courses, getting them equal to our amount coursework within your curriculum. Basically, what that means is basically I found out today that like some LSAT or MCAT prep work or coursework costs like $3,000, but Auburn won't give you any supplemental credit for that as an option when other universities do. So looking into what that may look like is all, but that's all from academic affairs.
Budget and finance.
Third world business. So I got to have a meeting with Jamie, Brad, and Ashton last week about just learning more about the budget and finance process and just learning all things budget and finance in the world of SGA and Auburn. I'm working on now finalizing a timeline for the budget and finance process and updating the contact list so we can hit the ground running when we get back into the summer. I'm meeting with Kelby next week to get introduced and familiarized with all student organizations and line items. That's all.
Code of laws.
Hearing at large. So we have two future orders coming across tonight. Both of them are from Jake. One of them is related to the EVP changes, and the other one is on methods of voting, which will be great. And then we are still working on election law, crosswalks, and executive suite.
CI committee.
Everybody. Hope you all had a good week. Just a couple things from me. Um, I spoke with the director of accommodations, Mr. Barkley, a couple weeks ago, and he gave me lots of great feedback. We both thought it would be a good idea to have a student liaison to help bridge SGA and the office accommodations this year. That'll be me. So if you have anything accommodations wise, just come and speak to me. A couple things that we talked about that students were not knowing that they're applicable for accommodations that they can receive. If students feels they are, then they can reach out to the office and see if they, can get certain accommodations. He definitely wanted to make it known that if anything raises awareness around campus, to make him aware and put it on his radar. This can be anything from a door not being handicap accessible to a ramp being too steep for a wheelchair or things of that nature. A long-term project that he mentioned to me was putting live captioning video boards in Neville Arena and Jordan Hare. I'll have him come and speak in front of the Senate before we break. I feel like he'll be able to better articulate his initiative more. I'll be going to the State of DEI, like Maddie mentioned, later this month. And I urge y'all to keep pressing the handicap buttons when you go around the university, especially the ones that aren't specific to a college. I went to Heyday a couple weeks ago and the handicap button wasn't working, so I emailed and to make sure it got fixed. So I urge y'all to just keep pressing them, and if they don't work, just send me a quick email and let me know where it is.
Next, we have student affairs.
Building at large. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Just a few things from us. With athletics, we have the SAAC liaison meeting hopefully we can get that moving forward. With dining, we are moving the community dinner to next semester just to make sure BSU and other organizations have an opportunity to join and also be able to market it properly. So we had a dining meeting this week, which was very productive. Tiger Dining will be polling the student body this week for late night at the edge. It's either this week or next week, but they'll be polling the student body. They have 3 different themes they're thinking about this year. They're also rebranding Cafe 25 in Brown Copel. So engineering students, if y'all have feedback with food, any ideas as far as what needs to be served there, we definitely need that. And then Glenn Lothbridge, who's the director of campus dining, he's actually going to visit one of the fresh blends machines in Dallas soon, just to test it out, get some videos, and see if that'll be a path that we can move forward with. With health and wellness, Georgia is working with BBFD to write a commendation highlighting their work in fighting food insecurity. We also have a meeting with Dr. Cam this week, who's with the med clinic. He's over the med clinic. And we're going to discuss a potential marketing partnership with the med clinic to inform students of their services while also informing them of booking appointments, because that can be kind of a gray area coming into college. And then with campus safety, we had a meeting with Ryan Corper, the AVP of University Ops, about the safety walk. That is on April 17th. Starts officially at 7, but he said they'll probably start around 7:30. We discussed increasing Senate involvement in the safety walk, and he said that he needs feedback for other dark areas around campus to add to the walk. The main part of the walk is going to be behind the hill, but if you have certain areas that you park or walk that are pretty dark, let me know, let someone on our committee know, because he's looking and working on that. And he's also working on an initiative to use AU Alert to notify you when your bus is close. So if you have a certain route that you go to every day, you can select a bus and you would get an AU Alert when your bus is getting close. So exciting stuff, and yeah, that's all for me. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Jack. Finally, we have our executive committee.
Alfred at large. Not much from me. I have had some feedback that the Canvas quiz was glitching today. On my end, it does say that it's available until today at 6:30. So if you had a problem with that, please email me. And yeah. Bill examples are on the Canvas page under files. So if y'all need examples of resolutions, commendations, or bills, just go under files and then delete what's there and fill in your information. And that's just a super easy way to get your bill started. Reminder that you have to come to one Senate exec meeting by the end of the semester. Yes. And those are Thursdays at 5 in the Student Center ballroom. I'm so sorry. Conference room A. If you have any questions about what counts as an involvement hour, please reach out to me. We have volunteer hours. We had the final lecture today. There are just lots of opportunities to do that. So if you're struggling to get that done or come up with what to do, please just reach out. And lastly, Julianne and I really would love to get to know each of y'all. So we've gotten coffee with some of exec, and just please reach out to her. Her, is it Calendly? Is in her signature. So she would love to get to know y'all. If y'all have some spare time and are on campus, please reach out to her or to me, and we would love to meet. That's all.
Now we'll move on to reports from the liaisons, starting with Honors College.
Butterfield Honors College. So we just had our elections, and as of today, all of our officer positions are being filled with new exec. We had our formal last week and the math bee last week. Tonight we have a Chipotle benefit night for Relay for Life, and then we're starting our chair interviews this week, and that's it.
Awesome, thank you. Next, a report from BSU.
Bailey, BSU. So, some people expressed to me that they like getting the lift rides through Auburn, but they're concerned for their safety. And I'm not sure if that's anything Auburn can do, but they brought it to me, so I'm just bringing it to SGA. Also, Black Alumni Weekend is coming up. It's set for April 21st through the 23rd, and we're really excited about that. So, for anyone that doesn't know what that is, Black Alumni Weekend is a 3-day celebration focused on cultivating community through engaging social events and networking opportunities. It serves as a chance to celebrate the heritage, culture, and legacy of Black alumni and forge the future for Black students at Auburn University. Also, I am pleased to announce our 2023 and 2024 Black Student Union executive officers. So we had elections and we found out who got the positions. And so I'll just say like our top ones. So Vice President of Outreach is Trey Reese. Vice President of Administration and Finance is Dayton Malone. Vice President of Communications and Marketing is Jade Davis. Vice President of Engagement is Taya Hunt. Vice President of Programs is Haley Clayton. And our president for this upcoming year is Nyla Blewett. So we're really excited for that. And we will be officially welcoming the new exec board at our General Assembly on April 17th. Thank you.
Exciting. Next, we'll have a report from Veterans Association. Now we'll go into the current orders of business, starting with our first PSSB 23032001, brought to you by Senator Alford. No, AVP confirmations. Wait. Current orders.
I ask for approval of the following. Friday, April 7th at 4:45 p.m., Miss Homecoming nominations are due. Thursday, April 13th, 4:45 p.m., Declaration of Intent due. Tuesday, September 12th at 3 p.m., kickoff. And Friday, September 15th, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., voting day.
Are there any questions on this future order? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Moved and seconded. Liz, would you please come up to the podium? Or that microphone, either one. You stay. You go there. You go up to the podium. Yeah. Sorry. Hey, Tylen, could you repeat your question?
Yes. So, our homecoming game for the fall is set for September 16th, Saturday, first day of class being August 16th. So, exactly a month before that football game. First day of class is also a Wednesday, so not even like a full week that we're counting. So, just a really condensed timeline for our candidate, especially in preparing for a campaign and ordering materials. And having those interviews and declarations of intent is going to take up even more of those days that could be spent by candidates preparing for a campaign that is already so condensed. So that's kind of why we propose to nominate and select our top 5 candidates in the spring.
Sorry, Tylen, do you mind going to the mic? It's just so Eagle Eye can hear you. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Ooh, that's low. Okay. Give me a second. There we go. Have we kind of discussed how this impact campus overall from a climate perspective? I'm pretty sure they were all aware that SGA gets a lot of negative feedback and press during election season. So with moving this timeline up a little bit more, we would really be affecting how we are perceived as an organization throughout all of the summer as well. Not really saying that we're going to have a 12-month campaign season, but looking at how this might affect everything from organization recruitment in the fall, but also looking at the lifestyles of students who are involved within these campaigns. I do feel like by announcing things a little early on, especially things like top 5, that we might put ourselves in a position to where we have 5 females campaigning all summer long, doing sorority recruitment, doing all that onboarding, and then at the same time impacting campus in a negative light and creating that really competitive culture way too early on. I do understand at the same time that we might have to get this a little rushed when we get back, but I would love to see a compromise and or an amendment to where we can kind of find a way to ease the curtain a little bit as you want to open it. And I'll be a little open to hear what you might have
Yeah.
as far as ideas towards that.
Absolutely. So we've kind of thought through pretty much every possible scenario, neither of them being great doing it in the fall because it is really rushed, but also have thought about what that would mean in selecting candidates in the spring. And what that looks like is, first of all, making it very clear that they cannot run a campaign until they pass the eligibility requirements upon returning in the fall. Also, they have not been given initial materials. They haven't chosen things like campaign colors, slogans. So there's not a lot they could do over the summer, except for, maybe informally talking to people, choosing a team. I've also thought about it from a recruitment aspect and would be willing to propose an amendment to the recruitment rules, keeping sororities from discussing the upcoming election. And I think maybe that would help in that regard as well. Obviously, there's only so much we can do in like keeping candidates from working on campaigns and discussing things, but also making it very clear that it might be not be wise on their end, considering their eligibility as a candidate is only pending them passing those requirements upon returning to campus in the fall.
Hearing at large. So one question that I just had for you, and kind of just, I guess, a point of inquiry, point of information.
Yeah.
With that expanded timeline and with it going over the summer, which we've never had before and is obviously not ideal, but I think that something that kind of is a concern for me at least is the equity of the election, and that some women do already have prior summer commitments made that are going to be really time consuming over the summer, and others don't, and they're going to be able to spend that time kind of gathering that team. And like you said, they won't be able to do that extensive work like they will when they get back in the fall. But in the Code of Laws section 1008.1.2, it says that campaign organization may begin at any time, which that's not a lot that you can do, but that is to a degree something. And I think that we need to consider that there are some women who are not going to be able to spend that time organizing over the summer in the same way that others would be able to, just because they have different summer plans that they did before they found out that they were a top 5 candidate. But one question for you, Liz, is would you be open to an amendment that we could potentially continue the process of keeping nominations open and that ball rolling? We don't want to necessarily go back on our word and our graphics and all of our marketing push, but rather if we could select a top 20 this semester, and then perhaps when we got back in the fall, whether that be beginning of the school year, whether that's the first day, second day of school, even possibly the day before the first day of school, and then selecting a top 5, and it would still be a really quick turnaround, but maybe potentially then candidates wouldn't go ahead and get their team going and the ball rolling quite as much over the summer to make sure that every woman in the race has the best and most fair chance possible.
Absolutely. And definitely something that I'm open to considering, and like we'll take literally any and all suggestions and feedback y'all have. Just something to think about in that regard. 5 women preparing and thinking about a campaign all summer is a lot. Then think about 20 women who are thinking about an interview, thinking about a campaign all summer long as well. I don't know if that would necessarily fix the problem of women beginning to organize a team or consider a campaign. It might honestly just amplify it, but just a thought in that way too. And I appreciate the suggestion.
Yes, of course. Thank
Just also like adding on to that, on the AU Involved nomination form, we have interview dates, not like declaration of intent, but interview dates. Just something to keep in mind that we would have to amend that as well.
No. Yes. Correct. Mm-hmm. Jake. Lucy. I think maybe Jill could answer that. If you want to direct your question towards her, I'd direct your question towards her. Seven.
Adeboale Grasco. I think if we put this into a future order, we will reduce the time activities for this because this is the first week and Friday is 7th. Postpone it to next week is another removal of 1 week. And according to his timeline, said he want to meet up by September 15. And in this spring semester, I think we have like 4 weeks or 5 weeks left. So I think it's be good if we can treat it now so that they can be able to continue with their timeline.
Thank you. Tylen?
Like
I think if you're
extend
gonna
the
market it,
nomination.
you need to market it. Donovan? Yes. Tylen, I'm sorry. Can I ask you to return to your seat, please? Sorry. Thank you. Is there any other debate on moving this from a future to current order? Mhm.
Um, just considering like the amount of marketing and promotion that we've done already, I would like to keep it how it is, but also I value every voice and opinion in this room. So make it a current order.
Okay, with that, I've published the Canvas course or the Canvas quiz to move this order from a future to current order. Vote yes if you would like to move it to a current order. Vote no if you would like to keep it a future order. It's loading, but it should be published in a second. Sorry, Wi-Fi issues. It'll be published in a second, but yes. Yes, so if it's a current order or if it's a future order, we will continue to ask questions and then we will vote on it next week. If it is a current order this week, then we will be able to debate and amend the bill and it will be either passed or not passed in this room right now. Yes.
Jamie, so we wouldn't be able to move forward with the interview process? We wouldn't be able to move forward with the interview process? Right.
wait, sorry. I've opened the voting, but I haven't officially ended debate. So, Thomas, yes. Yes is yes, you want to move it to a current order because the motion was to move it. So, yes, if you want it to be a current order. No, if you would like it to stay a future order. Yeah. Did that change anyone's vote? It's under April 3rd module. No. Just because. Yes. Mm. This bill will have to be amended on the floor when it's a current order, so it will have to be amended in this room. Um, there's no need to write a new bill because this is the structure that needs to pass. If that makes sense. This is the structure. This is the context that needs to pass. The dates are the only thing that would change in this bill. Yes. Yes. We're at time before vote, so I move to end debate. Please vote. Thank you. We have 24 votes. We need 7. It's under module April 3rd, under this homecoming election 230410. Again, for clarification, if you vote yes, it will be moving to a current order. If you vote no, it will be staying as a future order. Oh wait, actually, I ended debate. So sorry. Okay, the votes conclude that this will be moved to a current order. So now that this is in order, it's future order or current order of business. Is there any debate on this bill? Current order. Would anyone like to debate the context of this bill? Oh. Donovan, did you vote in the Canvas quiz? Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Oh, okay. Then who didn't vote? Yes. Our issue is that we have 30 senators and we only are getting counted for 29 votes. Majority.
I move to amend this current order. I'd like to keep the Miss Homecoming nominations due on Friday, April 7th at 4:45 p.m., but amend the declarations of intent to be due to Thursday, August 17th. Just for context, in the Code of Laws, Section 1005.1, it says if more than 5 prospective candidates qualify for a major office, an interview process shall determine those top 5 most qualified candidates to run. Miss Auburn and Miss Homecoming interviews shall be conducted before the date for declaration of intent. So the declaration of intent date is the one that is determining when interviews will happen and when the top 5 will be declared. So I move that we amend it to be August 17th so that we open up the possibility of having top 5 be announced in August when we return.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any debate?
Can I say something? Okay. Obviously, something to consider, just from a perspective of someone who's been a campaign manager for 2 different campaigns, one of them being Homecoming, and thinking about also being someone who's gone through the interview process for Miss Auburn. I think about 5 candidates doing campaign prep over the summer, and then I think about 20 potential candidates doing campaign prep over the summer. That's something to think about. Also, if we did these interviews in the fall, they would either have to be the day before the first day of class or on the first day of class. And with homecoming being so early, it's already going to be tight for candidates in setting themselves up for academic success. So that also raises a concern for me. But again, open to suggestions.
Yes, Lucy. I don't know what you're about to say. see, did you vote yes or no? Yeah. So with recount of the votes, it was a tie, so we're gonna need a revote. Sorry? So we're gonna do hands votes, just. So I'm gonna just do old school so that we don't get anyone messed up. Kara, would you mind taking your seat so we can revote? Thank you. Senator Yon, could you take a seat so we can revote? Could you take a seat so we can revote, please? Thank you. All in favor of moving this to a current order, please raise your hand. Keep it up. Okay, majority vote. We will be continuing with this as a current order. Thank you, guys. Yes. Okay. If you're stating it as a question, yes, Liz. Wait.
I personally think no. Well, first of all, you would be taking away like, so are you saying like have them interview virtually in July, say?
Yes, Kara. Macy.
Like have
Outside of school days. Like, for example, if school starts on a Wednesday, that Monday, Tuesday, would those days still be available to hold interviews or to do anything of that nature? Just for clarification. Like, yes or no?
I think especially in keeping an equitable and inclusive interview process, having interviews during, say, pre-recruitment recruitment would not be making that option as available to women who aren't a part of that process. In 2022, declarations of intent were due on August 25th, and the homecoming game was September 24th. But again, with those declarations of intent being due on Thursday the 25th, we were able to have interviews on Monday and Tuesday of that week, which would not be an option in the fall.
Is there any further debate on the amendment made on the floor?
Sorry? September 16th.
Is there any other debate on this amendment? Yes, Thomas. Yes.
In terms of, well, I'll just say the whole idea of moving interviews and selections to the spring was to give candidates adequate time to prepare for campaign. So even pushing that declaration of intent to the next week after, as opposed to the 17th, we would be defeating the purpose of even opening nominations now because we're still condensing the timeline so much for candidates. The whole point of this is to give them adequate time to prepare, build a team, order materials, which is really concerning in looking at the date. So the 17th would be, if it was moved to the fall, I would want it as early as possible.
Yes, Sydney. Is there any further debate on this amendment? Hold on. Mm-hmm.
For declarations of intent? My only concern is that we would have to do interviews on that Tuesday, and then that gives less than 24 hours from callouts for declaration of intent. And for women who, declaration of intent is the candidate and the campaign manager. And I don't know if that would be enough time. Again, just thinking about the equity of the campaign process as a whole, and how that reflects our organization.
Is there any other debate on this amendment? Seeing none, I move to end debate. You can now see the Canvas course amendment under April 3rd as well. Lucy, you're a student now. Are there 2 people still waiting to submit their quiz? One more. Okay. The yeses have it, and this amendment has been adopted. So now moving back to the legislation at hand with the amendment, is there any debate? Oh, wait. Sorry. Hmm? Okay. So we're gonna do a vote by hands because I don't want to make another Canvas quiz. It'll take too long. If you would like to adopt this bill as written, please raise your hand. Okay. Okay, majority has it, so this bill will be adopted as written. Good job, guys. Okay, moving on to our other current orders of business. Wait. But it is a current order. It was a future order. But no, but they all have it, so we could, I could just. Oh wait, call to order, please. Please take your seats, and we're gonna move on to PSSB 23032001. Unless you would like to suspend the rules. Lucy, this bill is presented to you by Senator Alford. AVP confirmations. This bill was a future order last week, or 2 weeks ago. Here, I can pull it up. What was it?
Okay, Alfred at large. I ask for approval of the following. Friday, April 7th. This is not right. Okay. Okay, Alfred at large. I ask for the approval of the following: PSSB 2303-2001, Morgan Brannon, AVP of Academic Affairs, George Turner, AVP of Athletics, Carter Funderburk, AVP of Campus Life, Ryan Kerper, AVP of University Operations, Vincent Indovina, AVP of Finance, Elizabeth Edwards, AVP of Auburn Rings, Donovan Evans, AVP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Judson Lisenby, AVP of External Affairs, Katie Remsbacher, AVP of Feedback and Assessment, Sam Lagan, AVP of Outreach Programs, Caroline Kelly, AVP of Media Relations, Tiffany Osborne, AVP of Communications and Marketing, Jackson Smith, AVP of Cabinet Administration, Christian Room, AVP of Opportunities, Liz Mitchum, Executive Director of Elections, Isabella Wireman, AVP of Executive Student Council. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? Is there any debate on this bill? Seeing no debate, we'll move into a vote. Again, campus quiz. Okay, this bill has been adopted. We will move to PSSB 2303-2002. This bill is presented to you by Senator Alford.
Alford at large. Ask for the approval of the following: PSSB 2303-2002, Tylen Rudolph, Academic Affairs Committee Chair; Thomas Treadwell, Budget and Finance Committee Chair; Kara Herring, Code of Laws Committee Chair; Carter Inman, DEI Committee Chair; Jack Hilton, Student Affairs Committee Chair. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there any debate? Or is there a second? Sorry. Is there any debate? Seeing no debate, we'll move into a vote. Again, it's on campus quiz. Majority has it, and this bill would be adopted. Next in order is future orders of business. We'll start with PSSB 2304-1002. This bill is brought to you by Senator Yon.
Yon Liberal Arts, I ask for approval of the following. Chapter 202, Additional Executive Officers and Responsibilities. 202.1, the President, add, in collaboration with the Vice President and the Treasurer of the Student Government Association, shall appoint, with the approval of 2/3 of the membership of the Student Senate, additional executive officers who may be removed from office at any time by the President of the Student Government Association. 202.1.1, in order to remain eligible to serve in their position, all executive officers must be enrolled in or working for Auburn University during summer term and conduct their regular office hours. The judicial branch will interpret exceptions to this rule. 202.1.2, the additional executive officers and responsibilities shall be 202.1.2.1. The Executive Vice President of Initiatives oversees all initiative projects and develops reports for SGA and the university. 202.1.2.2, the Executive Strike Vice President of Communications and Marketing, add, Chief of Staff oversees the internal operations of SGA Cabinet, the recruitment of new members, as well as the development of current members, the marketing promotion of all SGA advocacy efforts, projects, and other events. 202.1.2.3, the Executive Vice President of Outreach oversees SGA campus relations, municipal relations, campus feedback, and the planning of outreach projects. Strike 202.1.2.4, the Executive Vice President of Cabinet Administration oversees the internal operations of SGA Cabinet, the recruitment of new members, and the development of current members. Point of information, this was in collaboration with exec. We are just consolidating all the exec members in their new roles as they have changed. It doesn't change anything about the appointment process doesn't change any constitutional powers the president has.
Is there any questions on this feature order? Okay, sounds good. Moving on to our next feature order, PSSB 2304-1003.
Ask for approval of the following. 300.1.6 technician, 300.1.6.1 the Senate technician shall be appointed by the President of the Senate, Student Senate, and approved by the majority of the Student Senate. 300.1.6.1.1 this appointment shall not be from the membership of the Student Senate. 300.1.6.2 the Senate technician shall be responsible for recording and submitting all voting procedures, strike submitting to the President Pro Tem, Senate President, and SGA webmaster following each meeting, strike recording all voting procedures via strike iClicker, add a method chosen by the Senate President, strike and submitting to the President Pro Tem, Senate President, and SGA webmaster following each meeting. 300.1.6.3 the Senate technician shall be expected to attend all Senate meetings and assist the Senate President and Executive Secretary with meeting preparation if the need arises.
Are there any questions on this feature order? All right. Moving on to our next feature order of business, PSSB 2304-1005. This bill is brought to you, 04, sorry. This bill is brought to you by Senator Smith.
Smith T. Kosam. I ask for approval of the following. PSSB 23-0410-04. I ask for approval of the following. 2023 through 2024 Student Senate Academic Affairs Committee. Committee Chair, Tylen Rudolph, College of Engineering. Members, Adebowale Samuel Oyerind, Graduate School. Emma Francis Zellner, College of Business. Madison Pedra, College of Pharmacy. Michael D. Flanagan, College of Education.
Are there any questions on this feature order? Next feature order, PSSB 2304-1005, brought to you by Senator Zellner.
Zellner Business, PSSB 2304-1005. I ask for the approval of the following. 2023 through 2024 Student Senate Budget and Finance Committee. Committee Chair Thomas Treadwell, College of Business. Members, Connor Knighton, College of Business. Gunnar Smith, College of Engineering. Hunter Riles, College of Agriculture. Isabella Price, College of Engineering. Jonathan Smith, College of Liberal Arts. Mary Emma Taylor, College of Human Sciences. And Trey Schlimmer, College of Business.
Are there any questions on this feature order? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to the next feature order. PSSB 2304-1006, brought to you by Senator DeVay.
DeVay, CLA, PSSB 2304-1006. I ask for approval of the following. The 2023-2024 Student Senate Code of Laws Committee. Committee Chair, Kara Herring, at large. Members, Clay Ramey, College of Engineering. Ethan Laney, College of Sciences and Mathematics. Jake Yon, CLA. Jenna DeVay, CLA. Rosie Harrison, College of Engineering. Sophie Marino, College of Sciences and Mathematics.
Are there any questions on this future order? Yes. Okay. That can be an amendment next meeting, yeah. Okay, moving on to the next future order of business, PSSB 2304-1007, brought to you by Senator Walden.
Walden Liberal Arts, PSSB 23-0410-07. Ask for approval of the following. 2023-2024 Student Senate Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. Committee Chair, Carter Inman, College of Business. Members, Isabel Price, College of Engineering. Michael D. Flanagan, College of Education. Rosie Harrison, College of Engineering. Sydney Rooks, College of Forestry, Wildlife, and Environment.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move into our next future order of business. PSSB 23041008, brought to you by Senator Pedra.
Pedra Pharmacy, PSSB 23041008. I ask for approval of the following: 2023-2024 Student Senate Student Affairs Committee. Committee Chair Jack Hilton, at large. Members Ebb Counts, College of Engineering; Georgia Curdell, at large. Haley Walden, College of Liberal Arts; Case Cherico, at large. Macy Brockamp, College of Nursing; Sydney Rooks, College of Forestry, Wildlife, and Environment; Vera Smith T, College of Sciences and Mathematics; and Will Franklin, College of Business.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move into our next future order of business, PSSB 23041009, brought to you by Senator Flanagan.
Flanagan Education, PSSB 23041009. I ask for approval of the following: 2023-2024 Senate Executive Committee. Committee Chair Lucy Alford, at large. Members Kara Herring, College of Science and Mathematics; Carter Inman, College of Business; Jack Hilton, at large; Thomas Treadwell, College of Business; and Tyler Rudolph, College of Engineering.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move into our next future order of business, PSSB 23041010. Is there a second? Is there a vote to table? Raise your hand if you agree to table. Okay, majority wins. We'll move on to next PSSB 23041011. Is there a second? Raise your hand if you vote yes. All right, this bill will be tabled. So that concludes our future orders. Thank you all for sticking through that meeting. Don't forget to do your office hours and fill out the form. Email Lucy if you didn't get to fill out the form. I'll see y'all next week. And